Today's episode, you guys, is brought to you by Perfect Storm Real Estate Specific Software. It's the website I use in my business. I'm actually a partial owner within the company that's been able to give my input to help create a piece of software that is uber effective at lead generation in our real estate businesses. That website, www.perfectstormnow.com. Go check that out. It's amazing, epic front-end lead generation site that's extremely affordable for real estate agents out there. Also, today's episode is brought to you by our 90-day mastery bootcamp. If you're in the real estate industry, if you're wanting to take your business to the next level, this is a gnarly, crazy experience. We go through for 90 days straight. There's there is 13 total sessions that we go through. Each weekly session is about 2 to 3 hours long every single week. Plus, you have daily access to me going through the experience through the group. So to check out more about that program, we roll those out about every 90 days. We stagger them once in a while, but we do about 3 or 4 of those every single year. So if you want to spend the next 90 days with me, about 40 hours of just crazy epic content helping your business take it to the next level, go to www.90daymastery.com. That's our sales page. You can see testimonials, learn more about the product, and register and sign up right there. If you are signing up, make sure to use the promo code LiveMastery, all caps, all together, all one word, LiveMastery. It saves you $500. It makes that whole entire 90-day coaching experience only $997 for you guys. So, all right, let's jump on in. So how to get shit done when you're feeling like shit is you just stop giving a shit about feeling like shit and you just get shit done.
Well, I'll tell you that I'm going to use your word for a moment. I'm going to say balance is bullshit. Like there is no balance, right? I think that like I said earlier, my version of success has changed so much over the years. I also think that balance changes. I teach a great class called Goals versus Priorities, and I'll shoot you a link for that class that you can offer. And I talk a lot about the fact that your life kind of goes through these cycles, right? And there's times like right now when you have young kids at home and, I'll tell you there is a big difference for men and women. For most, and not all, for most men that have young children, they have a wife at home. So that wife takes care of all the kids, all the life. Like you never come home and wonder where the toilet paper is. Like it just magically appears. Right? It's one of those things that men, for the most part, not all, because there's men who are in the reverse situation, they don't have to think about. They have a wife at home. Well, for most women, when we work, we are not only working, but we are also that wife. We are also that mom. We are also that person trying to be that successful, version of yourself. So again, number one, you got to step out of comparing yourself because comparing yourself is cancerous. Everyone has their own version of success. When my kids were little, I worked before they got up and I worked after they went to sleep many times. And I would work things out where I could meet with clients when my husband was home, or when my husband was traveling and working a lot, I would share with another mom where she would take my kids for a couple hours and I would take her kids for a couple hours, and we just adjusted our schedule. Do you get over the guilt? No, I don't think that you ever do. My kids are now grown, but sometimes I go back and I say, oh, now my kids could care less about hanging out with me. So now I think, gosh, I should have hung out with them more when they wanted to be around me, right? But I think that every kid goes through that no matter what. And so I think really figuring out what's most important to you. I know I did a podcast with a gal named Amanda Todd, and she's a single mom with 3 kids. She did $20 million in her first 18 months. She'd be a great person for you to have on your podcast. And she said that she had a couple of non-negotiables, and her one non-negotiable is that she picks her kids up every day from school. That's her non-negotiable. So every day she gets that opportunity to pick her kids up. She shuts off her phone for an hour while she gets her kids, hangs out with them. And she works that into her schedule during the day. So she gets up in the morning, gets her kids off to school, and she's at the office by 8:30, where most agents are not even getting up yet. She's at the office by 8:30 and she works until 3 o'clock. Then she shuts off. She goes and picks her kids up, and she spends time with her kids. So there's lots of ways to figure out what is most important to you. Like I said, for me, I would just get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I would work for a couple hours before my kids got up, doing a lot of the stuff I could do. And then, I would go to work when my kids were at school. And then when my kids were home, I'd wait until they went to sleep and I would work. So let go of the guilt. Your kids are going to be fine, especially if they're really young, they won't remember. So that's a good time to get it done. But the truth is that they'll adjust. And I think that the most valuable thing that you can do as a mom is to be present when you're present with your kids.
So how do you properly go out there and plan for retirement in this new economy that we're in?
Okay, so there's a difference between where you are and where someone who has never saved any money and is 50 or 60 years old. I mean, it's different positions. I have no kids. That was my choice. And so there's no one to rescue me. When I was wandering around, my brothers would help very reluctantly, or my parents would help very reluctantly. And I just made a decision that I was never going to do that again. And once you make the decision, then you can start figuring out how to make it happen. You can't just sit there and go, oh my God, I'm never going to have enough to retire. And, whining does not create money. You have to find a way. And if you're a real estate agent, you've got so much opportunity, but you have to work at it. Making money in real estate takes a lot of discipline, determination, and a burning desire to succeed. So get off your butt and get out there and do it and learn how to manage your money. If you keep spending everything you're earning and you keep raising your standard of living to match your income, you're never going to save any money. So you have to make a decision. And usually people who haven't been saving have to work with someone else to help them do it. I love what's happening in the world today with all these coaches and consultants and mastermind groups. And there's no reason to be alone anymore. You don't have to make decisions by yourself anymore because people want to connect. That's our basic need as humans, is we need to connect. So find help and have someone help you make decisions. If you're going to use a financial advisor, get someone who's fee-based rather than a percentage of your assets. If you don't have money for retirement, then you haven't got any assets. They're not going to want to work with you. So find someone who's going to help you figure out how to reach your goals. And quite frankly, if you're 60 or 65 and you've never put any money aside, you're not retiring real soon. It's just a fact of life. And, we come from such a codependent society where, God's going to save us or daddy's going to save us no, you've got to save yourself and you've got to make that decision and stop whining.